Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video I'm going to be looking at one of the viewer questions, which was who would pay us in the event of a resolution. So stay tuned for that. We're also going to be looking at more exposure of FINRA lies and finishing off by having a look at tick symbol ICU. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. There was news yesterday with regard to inflation. It came in at 3.1%. Markets did not react very well to this, but what we can see now in terms of the overall market is now no longer pricing in a rate cut for May 2024. So we're looking at currently pricing in a 64.3% chance that Jerome Powell and the Fed will keep rates unchanged in May. So that's most likely what will happen. But if we have a look at the history of inflation over the previous 12 months, we can see the high in January 2023, it was approximately 6.4%. It has been coming down, and so November was 3.4%, January was 3.1%, but I think the markets did expect better, and there was a little bit of red on yesterday's market. Hopefully a little bit better today. I'd now like to share with you some information with regard to Fidelity, who have stated they are no longer able to transfer shares to AST. So what Fearless has stated here is that Fidelity told him that they cannot move his shares to AST, and they are in a placeholder position and in a transitional state and not capable of being moved. And what Harrison has also stated, he had a chat with Fidelity as well with regard to transferring the shares to AST, and he stated unable to transfer even if I wanted to. According to them, it is because of a chill. So I'm not sure why the company Fidelity have stated chill, so I've highlighted that in the chat, and it is does seem to be what they're saying, but I think this is something that needs to be questioned, because generally when there is a chill, it means there is a problem with the security and the securities issuer in terms of the transfer agent as well, and normally when the chill is placed, it applies to all brokers. So I certainly think Fidelity are not being forthright with the information or the explanation here. So let's see if there are any other brokers that do the same. Let's now have a look at the question with regard to who would pay us in the event of a settlement. So we'll shout out here to Justin, who asked the question in the comments, and he stated, not sure if this has been answered before. If there is a settlement on MMTLP, who is paying us? What Hansel has stated is, well, if your broker sold it, they have to pay. So the example Hansel has stated is, for example, Fidelity are worth $10.3 trillion. So not quite correct. And Five Rings is quite right to also say that the Fidelity customers' accounts are worth $10.3 trillion. Because if Fidelity was worth $10.3 trillion, that would make them 3 times bigger than Apple. So not true. But what I have stated is I believe it is a good question, and one thing I will say is FINRA are not the ones that are going to be paying us, because they will have immunity from any payments. So most likely, in my opinion, it should be the shorts who should have taken infinite risk and should have taken the loss. And as well as that, I do agree with Hansel in terms of the brokers. I do believe they will have some liability as well. We're not quite at that stage there yet, but certainly the nefarious actors do have to pay. I'm going to follow on from yesterday's video where we looked at an alleged payment of $1.1 million to James Angel, and one of the things that I uncovered last year, which I believe is currently trending again on X, is the link between James Angel and also FINRA and also Georgetown University. So what I posted here that is obviously putting together the jigsaw with regard to this link. What I stated here is obviously FINRA has an institute at Georgetown University, and surprise, surprise, James Angel is the academic director of that FINRA institution. So again, conclusive proof, in my opinion, of a financial relationship between FINRA and James, and also we saw the alleged payment of $1.1 million to him, which I'm quite happy for him to say that that is no longer the case, and we will withdraw any suggestions of that matter. I believe in yesterday's video, one of the members of the MMTLP community has contacted Georgetown University, and he stated that they are concerned with regard to the conduct of James Angel, and they are waiting for more information on that. But in terms of the university, what I did say initially, I think there was not much of a response at that time, but I did say that presentation was full of critical errors, it was compromised, it was also negatively likely to impact the livelihood, pension, savings, businesses and health of thousands of honest American investors. So go ahead and check out the previous video. Let's now have a look at the new alleged lie that has been uncovered with regard to the letter sent to Ralph Norman by FINRA. So shout out here to Timmy, who posted earlier that FINRA said in their letter to Congressman Norman that they are not an exchange. Well, they lied. MIC Market Identifier Code XADF is a FINRA off-exchange dark pool. That's an open door for naked shorts. Are hedge funds pulling them from offshore and using XADF to report volume? So over to you, FINRA, to respond to this allegation or this question. And I think it is a very valid point. So let's have a look at what Costas has stated about this. So he's gone into AI and looked at ADF owned by FINRA. Remember, FINRA do have their own trades on the market and they are investing, which I think is certainly dubious. But what ChatGPT has stated is the alternative display facility is owned and regulated by FINRA. FINRA is an SRO that oversees brokerage firms and exchange markets in the US. And ADF is one of the platforms provided by FINRA to facilitate the trading, quoting and reporting of OTC equity securities. So there we have it, and I think that's fairly black and white. So what he stated here is the ADF attaching more information via ChatGPT, and it sounds like FINRA have a significant amount of explaining to do. The more they delay their explaining, the more questions that we are going to ask. So I think they are certainly delaying the inevitable. Finally, I'd like to finish off by having a look at ticker symbol ICU, also known as Seastar Medical, and this is a stock that has been added to our weekly watch list exclusive with the members. We did share news with regard to a new patent that was granted and also bullish momentum in the stock. So let's start by having a look at an overview of the company. We can see here it is in the biosector. It's a publicly traded medical company. It's redefining extracorporeal therapies which can reduce the consequences of excessive inflammation on vital organs. So it's trading on the Nasdaq. So we can see here the current share price at time of editing, approximately 93 cents. But what's interesting here is let's have a look at the expanding US clinical pipeline in multiple organs and diseases. So they have a number of trials and different stages going on here, but the top one we can see they have a HDA submission in the second quarter 2022 for an FDA for pediatric acute kidney injury on CRRT. They also have an FDA PMA pivotal trial ready, and they're also exploring clinical research underway at the University of Michigan. So the key thing here is they hold exclusive worldwide license to commercialize the SCD in human therapeutics. So great potential there for the company, and this is the news that we shared in the Discord from February. We can see Seastar Medical were granted the Canadian patent with broad claims covering the selective cytotherapeutic device technology. So that was the news shared in the Discord. What I'd now like to do is share with you some additional news, and that is news with regard to the date for their earnings. So what I can share with you here is the company are going to release their fourth quarter earnings on Tuesday the 27th of February 2024, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So that is something that we will be keeping an eye on. And finally, let's have a look at the chart for ticker symbol ICU. So we can see here, I'm going to share with you the 1 month chart. So over the previous month, the stock is up in excess of 75%. Close of play on the previous day was up in excess of 3.2%, and over the previous week it's also up in excess of 20%. So momentum is still good, it is still bullish, and certainly one that we are going to keep an eye on. If you would like to get more stocks like this, you can certainly join us in our Discord. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.